But
we all know that children are not necessarily focused on the bread that you can bring.
Yeah.
Right?
Crazy. I love the money.
No, I think they love the experiences. I think they love what the money can do. Right? But my thought process is that if you're extremely high functioning as a father, you can for sure make up the difference from the money that you bring in. Just creativity of going, you know what I mean? You can make up the difference. If you're extremely high value, because my thing, well, first of all, number one, I think there's two different arguments, because if you were to bring the word high value to a child, none of it would be money.
Crazy.
I don't think so. High value.
I asked my dad for money to go on ski trips and all that shit. He was like, yo,
so
you always had it. You know what I mean? You know,
but
he didn't make every game. I don't think he picked me up from practice a couple of times, but I don't think my father ever watched me play a sport.
I believe this. As children are concerned, I think that may get old very fast, because if you realize,
I was cool as long as I could pay, as long as I could play. He had the money so I could play the sports.
Okay.
He had the money so I could be on the swim team.
Okay.
He had the money so I could be on the baseball team. He had the money so I could be on the basketball team. But he was out there working, making the money. Well, so maybe he was a little thing about that is, but the value was definitely there, and that was good enough for me.
Not using you as an example, but a person like you who's been through kind of what you've been through, the upbringing, is that person did not become a professional baseball player, basketball player, football player. Right. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would trade maybe some of that for being aroundness.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because, okay, like I said, you know, to use myself as an example, you know, more than I brought my children to Disneyland multiple times. They had a good time, had fun, all that shit. But I've watched the literal same amount of joy from literally going to the gas station. I bought these little water fucking pump shits, and they're out there like this is, you know, you know what I'm saying? And my foot's hurt at the end of Disneyland. You know what I mean? And spent money on the hot dog that's extremely long pause for nobody to eat. The mac and cheese nobody want to eat. The cup that they bring home that they lose. But I'll tell you this, you know, those little water guns, they go through my trunk every time. Where the water guns at? Literally $6 a piece. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder if the term high value works, you know, because not saying high value, it is important, right? When it comes to paying the bills and making sure the lights is on, that's important. But I do want to say for who per se, because all right, no, wait,
to keep buying those little $6 joints.
But
now, if you in the yard and you still using them old shit, you gotta put the water balloons back together and all that. Now you're like, all right, Dad, this ain't rocking. Come on, Bob.
Listen, they rocking. Either if you can get that shit crispy to where, because what I realize is, if you look at a lot of kids our age that grew up, all right, look at us. Look at our age group. None of us, 0% of our age group of kids talk about the fly, fancy trips that they've been on with their parents. None of that is what we reminisce on. We reminisce on, yo, we was outside on the block playing till the street lights came on and we was playing manhunt. None of that cost any money. Now, we are from a great neighborhood, so you can say that that money went into being, you know, able to keep keep you in the neighborhood. But my point is that I'm sure your father spent a lot of bread for you, but you never bring that up first. Your first thoughts are always something that you did for free.
I mean,
no, it is. It's true.
I appreciate what my papa did. Like,
I understand,
like that,
but you don't lead.
He never said no. Like when I need to go, you know what I mean. Like if we was going on a ski trip, if we, you know what I mean. If the kids in school was we about to play some roller hockey. I need some roller blades and a stick. Come on, let's go to Modell's.
Listen,
you know what I mean, like you always had it. You know what I mean, I love that shit.
I do want to say that's a beautiful part. You know, big up to Pops, because that's why he did it. But I do want to say that a large majority of the people our age, I know a bunch of friends who had money, A lot of good money. When they want to go into their reminiscing bag, it's really not about, yeah, I went here. I look at my own daughter. I gave my daughter a lot of stuff. Her reminiscing is I've never heard her say, yo, at Disneyland, never.
All our
Yeah.
kids went to the same camp. That camp was not cheap.
No, it wasn't cheap.
Right.
But guess what?
They don't know
talk
how much.
about-
They don't know how
Yeah,
much it
but they
costs.
know that they had a good time at that camp.
Okay.
but
But if they couldn't go to that camp and they were just home sitting up in the room or you know what I mean, it wouldn't be the same because it's free. You still were high value enough to pay for that camp.
well, like I said, no, but see, this is the thing. See, it's about now if you just kept your kid in the room all day, okay, of course.
Yeah.
But if you said, for instance, what we paid for that camp, let's say you were home, what you paid for that camp, which we all three of us paid for that camp.
Can you pay for some? Can you do
If-
some experiences?
If you took that money each
did it
week
yourself?
and said, yo, I'm gonna just spend this particular dollar bill on my nigga, those kids will have, bro, they would never want to go back to camp.
Mm.
My daughter always says, I love daddy camp. Because daddy camp is okay, we're gonna wake up a little late, all right, we're gonna talk, eat a little breakfast. All right, fuck it, we're going to this playground. And from this playground, we're gonna go here.
That's right.
Literally, it didn't cost me anything but some
Yeah.
gas,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
gas
Yeah.
percentage
Yeah.
to get where I was going.
Yeah.
You know,
So the moral of the story
moral of the story is what?
it's a balance.
Check all the balance. Yeah.
Check all
No,
the
it's
balances.
it's a balance, right? And you're better off being good at have good levels all across the board than being a great this and a bad this, or a bad this and a great this. You understand what I'm saying? Like yo, you don't have to be
You know
a
what,
trillionaire to give your kids a good life, right?
No, I think
you
you should
spend
really
ti-
settle that. You should really don't breeze past that. You know, that's a great point. You know, balance. You know, which a lot of people feel is detrimental. Balance, right? Chasing balance is
Mhm.
like, you know, you can't be great in one
You can't be.
space.
Mm.
But I do think if you're raising a family, you're part of a family, the head of a household. If you can find a real sense of balance, yeah, I really think that is the way to go, Ronco. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Yo, bro. I don't like again, I've probably said this before. I'm not a pessimistic guy. I'm very optimistic, but the majority of us are not gonna be millionaires, billionaires, or whatever. You know what I mean? We'll live good lives, decent lives based on whatever your goals or your perspective is in life or the way you see life is going to determine, you know, how you view how you lived. But this life doesn't require you to work crazy or whatever and neglect your family, neglect your wife and your friends and all that good shit. You can have a balance and, you know, have the things that you want and spend time with your family and do all the things you want.
Because
Right?
don't neglect that some of those things are easier. It's kind of sometimes for people it's easier.
Yeah. Sometimes we get
Stay
caught
at
on
work all
we
day,
we
yeah.
get caught up in our peer groups on social media and like, oh, you got to be the greatest this or greatest that. If you're not doing this, you low value or you this or you're that. It's the boxes, right? And it's like they create this box and now everybody want to jump in that box. Because if I'm not that, then what am I? So if I'm not this category, then what am I? I'm shit. I'm dog shit. So it's like, all right, I gotta, niggas say high value niggas got this, that, and the third. So I need to do this, that, and the third. But while you trying to do that, you're neglecting your kids, you're neglecting your wife, your relationships, and all that good shit, right? You're not really living life. You're trying to chase certain things, right? And when you look back at it, now we can't see it at the moment. We go through life and then we look back and reflect, and then that's when regret comes with a lot of times, right? So what happens when you've been shooting for that $1 million and you never reach it, right? But in the interim, you neglected your family, right? You didn't focus on that, and the real shit that people remember in life, right? You didn't take part of that because you were so focused on getting into that box, getting into that group, because you wanted to be this or wanted to be that, right?
Yeah.
Value to people I feel like it comes with building relationships and spending time with people. Because what does it matter if I make 200 grand to you? How valuable? I'm not paying your bills.
Mm-mm.
I could tell you I make 200.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, yo, I need some bread, I probably be like, I'm not saying, I'm just giving an example,
Yeah.
right? If a random nigga just that sees me and like, yo, that nigga make bread, he an ill nigga. All right, nigga, I ain't giving you no money. Yeah, I got the money.
Yeah.
Right. So what does that do for you?
Well, now you have access to a network and you have access to that knowledge base of
That's building a relationship, though, right? We not focusing on what I got. You focus on the value that I bring as far as the intel that I can give you, the information that I can give you, right? Not based on like, yo, he's ill because he got this, that, and the third. That's how people don't even think like that. They don't think like, yo, this person has made it so he's a wealth of knowledge, right? And he could be a good this, that, and the third. I could build a relationship. I want to be friends with this person. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, yo, this dude is. It's people that sit there and watch other people on social media every day just because of the life that they live and never take part of it. Right. And that's what we need to get out of it, right? If you want to go that route, you can go that route. But niggas got to realize you got to be a doer. You can't be a watcher. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to live that life and you want to laser focus on something and you want to reach the top or whatever, you can't sit and watch or whatever. But you got to understand that when you focus on one thing, you can't be the dopest this and then be dope with that. Something's gonna be neglected. And you gotta just understand that, right? Yeah. Like, yo, you gotta sacrifice something. And it depends on what you're willing to sacrifice in your life, right? And if you look back and you don't accomplish that goal, like if you wanted to be a millionaire and it never happens, and you be like, yo, I neglected a bunch of shit and it never happened for me. Yeah. Because majority of people, it never happens. I hate to say that, but I'm just speaking real, man. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be negative, but I'm just speaking real. So that's why I feel like, yo, value comes in your experiences in life, your experiences with people, the bonds you build, the time you spend with people. Because my wife, she's a nurse, right? And she had she used to do like private care for people like that got bread, right? And it was a dude that had ALS. He lived the life, right? He money wise, he had money, right? Probably been everywhere, house overlooking the water, all that good shit. But when in his last days, all he was talking about was the time that he spent with his friends and the shit that they did together, right? And he wasn't just like, yo, it was the experiences that he had in life, but it was the relationships that he had. He didn't talk about all the shit that he had. It was nothing to him. So when we watch these clips and we see these people trying to create these boxes, we can't just look at them and feel like, all right, if I'm not that, I'm nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Because the value in people comes in many different ways, right? And you never know what a person can do for you if they have money or they don't have money or whatever. They could be invaluable to you and they might not have a dime for you. Right. So I think that's how we got to look at life, man. That's just my opinion. My opinion.